Today we have a very special video about how we funded this company and how we started this company. I traveled from Cuba to Venezuela. I lived there since I was 13 years old to about 15 and 6-7 months. I landed into the United States in 2000. I'm gonna remember the day specifically. I was about 16. It was a few months within 16 years old. We got here. It was my two brothers, my mom and my dad, and we just came with a hunger of making successfully, achieving dreams that we all had. A few years after, I started going to school. School was difficult. You got to learn English. Still, I'm learning English. That's not my first language. My first language is Spanish. I'm Cuban, 100%. It was hard, like life is every day, and you follow everything that needs to be done, ideas, dreams. There's other people that have been here before that give you some guidance, and sometimes that works for them, sometimes it doesn't work for you. So you got to make sure you get the best out of everybody's opinion if you care, but if not, just make sure you have the right positive mind. While I was going to school, I had a job. I started working, and the first thing I did was working in a place called El Médico de las Plantas. It was a place specifically that the guy helped customers treat the trees. So you had a mango tree, this guy will give you fertilizers. It would recommend you waters a certain time in the day. So I became like an expert on that as well. So after I would work there for 4 hours getting $4.25 an hour, I will go to their house. I will help them plant the trees. I will help them water the trees, and I will make a little extra bucks. So it doesn't really mean that you got to start here to make it happen. I started down there, and within time, I'm putting everything together, saving and doing the right move, having the right mindset and having the right people around you. 100% is going to help you out. I was there for about a year. I worked there really hard. I created my own clients. I quit the place because the person that I was working with, Jesus Ramos, he passed away. They said that because of the fertilizer that he was using for many years and he was not using protection, he passed away. A little bit down the line, that ended up not being what I wanted to do, obviously. So I focused myself back into school and then going back into a different job. Started working in a place it was a gas station. It was a gas station here near, and it was called Hess Gas Station. There, I met a wonderful family that helped my family. My mom was there working at a single time. It was my mom, my dad. When my mom was absent because he was traveling or whatever, my dad used to be the cooker. My small brother was the older one that would work sideways by me and with me. We used to put water, ice, so whatever it is. We will also be in charge of the lottery at our gas stations, usually Wednesdays and I believe Fridays. There was a lot of customers that would go there and they would buy a lot of lottery tickets and they would risk it all. A lot of them would not make it, but a lot of them will make money. I got good experience of how to save money, not to do that, not to depend on risking money by lottery tickets or doing otherwise. So I started going to school one more time, like I mentioned you guys, and I started doing nursing until I graduated. A few years after, it was a 2-3 years intensive of working, going back to school, and then night shift and doing everything to get ready. That helped me out. That helped me out to put my mind even more set into my goal. My goal was never to have Miami Powers. My goal was to always have my family in a good position to be able to not completely be on the street or having to do many different side jobs. When I was working at the gas station at night times, my passion for cars was already growing. I had a 1995 Ford Mustang. It was a white Mustang. Something funny about that, I used to go to school and every class I had to either skip myself 15 to 20 minutes earlier or ask the teacher for permission to be released a few minutes before because I didn't know what situation I was gonna face with my vehicle. I've been with my girl, with my wife nowadays for I got here in 2000, so 25 years. So the second I landed into this country, a few months after, I had the opportunity and the great blessing of meeting this girl. And obviously her family, it's my family, has helped me and helped my family like we've helped each other to be what we are today. The idea here is to tell you how is it that we as a family created this, what we have today. I don't like calling an empire, but I like calling the hard work that paid off and that you guys can all do it. Yourself, your family. It's just a motivation video. One more time, that's all I do. And some of you will not understand it, but down the line, you will see why I wanted to bring it up. A few years after that, I was already with my wife now, my girlfriend at that time. I would go to her house, I would visit her, and I would have to not turn off the car because if not, I will have to do something else to start it, or have her and her mom push me to start the car. So funny story, but that's true. We all come from the bottom. After I started saving money, I fell in love even more with cars. At that time, I was about 21 years old. I had a 2003 Ford Mustang Cobra. I had a jet ski. I had a motorcycle and I had a 2005 Corvette that was coming out recently to that time. That it was a big motivation for me and everybody around me, but at the same time, that put me away from a lot of people that were next to me at that time that couldn't understand how I was paying not a mortgage, but a payment on a car that was more than whatever they could afford a month. So always having a goal and achieving that goal and not making it too difficult, but making it difficult enough to get you out of your comfort zone is always good. It keeps you pushing, it won't let you settle. And when you make it to that one, you make another one that's bigger, that's also a push motivation for you. So I reached out to a friend of mine because the car that I had, one of the cars, the clutch was damaged. I met him, he took me to a place, the place couldn't do it, so he took me to another place, and on those places that we went, we stopped by Miami Power Wheels. Miami Power Wheels had a year open. The owner of the place before told me that he wanted to sell because it wasn't making money for him, but I fell in love with the place. I never thought this was gonna be what I really wanted to do since I was doing the medical field, and nevertheless, this is what I ended up doing. The transition between being in the medical field to this happened like this. I met with my fiance or girlfriend at the time, parents, and I reached out to them because I didn't have enough to be able to buy the business. And he ended up knowing the gentleman that was selling the business. We met up, he saw that was somebody else involved, it was not only me. He was a little afraid because I was young. He didn't really believe that I had some positive and good intentions. A lot of people don't have that will at that age of going beyond and doing something on the long road. Everybody wants to do it for today, for now, for yesterday. So I thought about it before anything happened. We met with this gentleman between my wife's dad and myself, and we got into an agreement. The gentleman said yes, move forward. And long story short, we bought Miami Power. Years went by, we were adapting ourselves into rims, tires, and all this industry that is completely different than what I do. And we did a good chemistry between my wife, dad, and myself. His name is Enrique Gonzalez. He was somebody really important in my life, somebody that touched me a lot. It was like a second dad to me. Unfortunately, a few years back, he passed away with a coronavirus on August 1st. If you guys follow the channel or if you guys follow us on Instagram, you see that every year we put a memo in his name and we make sure that he's always remembered. He's an idol for us, and he was more than just business investor and partner. He was like a father to me as well. When we started working directly at Miami Power Wheels, I had no knowledge specifically about dimension on wheels, on tires. We have somebody else that used to work for us. To make this type of a building that we have today, that we stand today, we have to do a lot of thinking, saving, aggressive pushing, moderations on everything else that you do outside of the business. That way you can have the savings, you can have the reliable sources to be able to support your team, first of all, because to me, that's the most important thing. My team to be safe, to be paid, to be well taken care of. That way we are as a team, a family that goes forward. All of the members that we have, we're gonna put pictures of them. One of them has 20 years with me, the other one has 17 years with me, the one that has the least amount is about 5 to 7 years. And that's a lot to say for somebody that has such a small company when we started, and today, nowadays, it's a little bit out there. It's not as big as I want it to be yet, but it is on the right path, and I feel confident and I feel amazed by what we have accomplished and the name we have created for ourselves. As of today, we have been in business with us as owners since 2006. This means a lot of dedication, a lot of hard working, a lot of push, a lot of understanding what's a need and what's priority. Family, business, friends, all that has a line in life, but when you have a business and you want to make sure that it's successful, you got to prioritize that. You got to prioritize the payments for the building, you got to prioritize the payment for your employees, and make sure your health is taken care of as well. Because if you don't protect yourself, you don't have the quality or the ability to be able to stay there or be supportive of your team. They relied on you. We're not a McDonald's business that you don't really have to deal with the owner. We are a small independent business that customers want to have a relationship with you. And you want to have the energy, you want to have the looks, you want to have the performance, you want to do everything that your team needs you to be, you got to be. That's who I am here. The teacher, the salesman, the father, the son, the brother, whatever it is that my guys need, I'm there. 100%. After about 20 years in business, you realize that to get at this level and maintain at this level, because anybody can make it, is maintaining it. You gotta still, the sacrifice don't stop. You still gotta measure yourself. You still gotta put things in perspective. Whatever is more important to the business, that is also important to you, but at the same time, it's more important to your team, that's priority to me. I take care of my team, my business, family, obviously it's within the same level, but business-wise, my team is priority. I make sure that I take care of myself, so I'm there for them, and I ask for them to do the same. And as of right now, that's the best there is. You guys that are starting your business, it will not scale from night to day. It will take time. I started in 2006. Right now we stand in 2024, talking about a lot of years. And you're like, no, I don't want to wait all that time. Maybe for you, you can scale it a lot faster. You can do a lot different. But to me, it took me all those years to accomplish. What it defines you is what you do with your time and what you do with your friends. Stay strong, keep pushing, and you can make it happen as well.